Have you ever wondered why some people rise so high in life, while others stay stuck, even though both seem to be working hard? We often believe that success is born out of big, dramatic actions, the grand gestures, the loud victories, the overnight transformations. But the truth is far quieter. Success rarely announces itself with fireworks. It grows in silence, nourished by small, invisible efforts that no one notices. The world only sees the results at the end, but the true story is written in those hidden, daily choices. This is the invisible effort that changes everything. Most people never see it, because invisible effort is boring. It doesn't look glamorous. It's not Instagram-worthy. It's the athlete who trains before dawn when no one is watching. It's the writer who puts down one page a day, every day, for years. It's the student who studies a little extra when everyone else has gone out. Invisible effort is so quiet that even you may not notice its power until one day you wake up and everything has changed. Let me take you to the story of a young man named Zion. Zion lived in a small town. He wasn't the most talented in his school. In fact, most people overlooked him. He wasn't loud, he wasn't exceptional, and he certainly wasn't the kind of person people expected to succeed. But Zion carried one quiet habit every single day. No matter how tired he was, he worked on himself. Just a little, not a lot, just a little. While others sought shortcuts, he built patience. While others gave up after one failure, he tried one more time. To his friends, he seemed ordinary, even lazy. But what they couldn't see was the invisible efforts, small, consistent, silent, that he was making each day. Years later, when Zion rose to heights no one expected, people called him lucky or suddenly talented. They never saw the truth. They never saw the invisible effort that changed everything. This is the reality of life. The world applauds results, not effort. People clap when you succeed, but they remain silent when you struggle in the dark. That's why invisible effort feels thankless. It feels like no one cares, and it often feels like it's not working. But invisible effort has one secret power: it compounds. It's like drops of water that carve a stone over time. Your daily small actions shape your destiny. Think of the bamboo tree. The first 5 years after planting, you water it, take care of it, and nothing seems to happen. Day after day, you give your energy to it, and there is no visible growth. Most people would give up. But if you stay consistent, something miraculous happens in the 5th year, within just a few weeks. The bamboo shoots up to more than 80 feet tall. Did it grow overnight? No. It was growing all along, underground, strengthening its roots, preparing for the breakthrough. The invisible effort of those 5 years made the sudden growth possible. The same is true in your life. The invisible efforts you make today, waking up a little earlier, reading one chapter, exercising for 10 minutes, writing a single page may feel insignificant, but they are preparing your roots. One day, when you least expect it, they will create a sudden transformation that others will call magic. Take the story of Kobe Bryant, one of the greatest basketball players in history. He was not simply born talented. In fact, as a child, he wasn't even considered extraordinary. But Kobe embraced invisible effort. He practiced at 4 a.m. while others were asleep. He shot thousands of times in empty gyms where no cameras were present. He built a reputation of being the hardest worker not in front of the world, but in the quiet, invisible hours when no one else was there. Years later, when he shined on the court, people called him a legend. What they never saw were the countless invisible mornings that shaped that legend. Albert Einstein once said, "It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer." His invisible effort was patience, while others gave up. He lingered with questions, sat with silence, and allowed his curiosity to build breakthroughs. Invisible effort works like compound interest. Imagine saving just a small amount every day. At first, it feels like nothing. But as time passes, the interest grows, multiplying into something enormous. The same applies to habits. You won't notice the change today or tomorrow, but over months and years, invisible effort compounds into results that shock everyone. But here's the challenge. Our society glorifies big results, not invisible effort. We admire the millionaire, but don't admire the years of quiet discipline. We admire the athlete on stage, but don't admire the decades of practice. That's why invisible effort requires faith. You must believe in the unseen. You must believe that what you are doing in silence will someday speak loudly for you. There was once a painter named Emilio, lived in poverty, unnoticed, working in a small room. Every day he painted one canvas. They weren't masterpieces, just small efforts. Neighbors thought he was wasting his life. Years passed, and his room filled with hundreds of paintings no one valued. Then one day a single painting caught the attention of a collector. That one painting opened doors, and suddenly the world discovered the treasure he had been quietly building. Overnight, they said, but Emilio knew it wasn't overnight. It was years of invisible effort, stacked one on top of the other, that created that moment. So many people quit because invisible effort feels invisible. They don't see immediate results, so they stop watering their bamboo tree. They don't see progress after a month, so they give up the gym. They don't see success after a few videos, so they quit creating. But the truth is, success is a delayed reaction. Invisible effort needs time before it reveals itself. There's science behind this. Our brain builds habits through repetition. Every small effort strengthens neural pathways, making the habit easier and more natural. At first, it feels impossible. But with invisible repetition, it becomes automatic. That's why invisible effort doesn't just create success, it creates identity. You don't just do the thing, you become the kind of person who does the thing. And that shift is the most powerful transformation of all. Invisible effort also builds character. When you wake up early, even when no one will praise you, when you keep going, even when no one claps, you are training your inner strength. You are proving to yourself that your discipline is stronger than your comfort. That invisible battle between you and your excuses, what creates real success. Remember this, public success is built on private discipline. The world will only ever see the tip of the iceberg. It will not see the invisible foundation beneath the water. But without that hidden foundation, the tip cannot exist. Think of J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter. Before fame, she wrote quietly in cafes, struggling financially, often rejected by publishers. Nobody saw those invisible hours of writing and rewriting. Today, the world celebrates the books, the fame, the fortune. But the truth, it was built on invisible effort. Invisible effort also teaches humility, because you know what it took. When people call you lucky, you smile, because you know it was years of invisible sweat. When they admire your talent, you know it was years of invisible practice. This humility keeps you grounded and keeps you growing. Now, how can you bring invisible effort into your own life? Start small. Don't wait for the perfect plan. Choose one thing that matters to you, your health, your learning, your craft, and commit to invisible daily effort. 10 minutes of writing, 20 push-ups, 15 minutes of reading. A single small action repeated daily becomes unstoppable over time. The challenge is not doing it once. The challenge is doing it when no one notices, when no one claps, when no one cares. That's the test. And that's why so few succeed. But imagine this 6 months from now, 1 year from now, 5 years from now, you look back and realize that your invisible efforts have built a completely different life. People will ask, how did you do it? And you'll know the truth. Invisible effort is like the sunrise. You don't notice the gradual change in the sky, but suddenly the light is everywhere. The world only sees the brightness, but you saw the slow shift of colors before the sun appeared. So don't underestimate the power of small, daily, invisible actions. Don't stop watering your bamboo tree. Don't give up because the world can't see what you're building. One day it will burst into view and people will call it a miracle. But you'll know it was invisible effort all along. If you've listened this far, remember this message. The effort you make today, even if no one sees it, is never wasted. Invisible effort changes everything. Stay patient, stay consistent, and let your silent work speak for you. If this story touched you, take one invisible step today. If you want more calm, powerful reminders like this, subscribe to Still Rise. Join this journey. And together we'll rise quietly through the invisible effort that changes everything.